This movie, The Childe, starts in South Korea. Power runs deep inside the veins of the wealthy. The story begins with the eldest son of one of the country's top conglomerate families, a man known for his arrogance, wealth, and love for hunting. He owned countless rifles, and for those who betrayed him, his punishment came in the form of bullets. Yet, he was twistedly polite, always offering his victims a chance to run, reminding them to zigzag to lower the odds of getting shot. But even this ruthless heir was destined to meet someone far colder, an elegant, emotionless assassin known only by his code name, Childe. He carried out his missions with deadly precision and absolute grace, believing that elegance must never be compromised, not even in killing. The story opens inside a rain-soaked warehouse. Classical music plays softly as Childe sits tied to a rusty chair, surrounded by careless thugs. For him, being restrained like this is the ultimate insult. Outside, the metal door creaks open, light spilling onto the damp floor. One thug brags over the phone that their target is secured, dreaming of the reward. But greed makes people foolish. Childe subtly loosens the rope around his wrists, his eyes calm, calculating. Within seconds, he breaks free and moves like a ghost, taking out two men in silence. When the client finally walks in, thinking his plan succeeded, the steel door slams shut, trapping him. Gunfire erupts. Moments later, the room falls silent. The assassin emerges, immaculate and unshaken. The client had tried to cheat him, a violation that demanded the most brutal revenge. Soon after, Childe receives his next mission. In a smoky bar, he leans against the counter, sipping a Coke while watching a fight below. His gaze locks onto the fighter, Marco, a half-Korean, half-Filipino boxer who fights desperately to pay for his sick mother's surgery. Every victory brings only small prize money, never enough. At home, he checks her breathing every night, burdened by poverty and fear. His story is one shared by many Filipinos, children abandoned by Korean fathers after fleeting affairs in the Philippines. Marco grew up in an orphanage under Principal Kim, who now struggles to keep it open. Marco gives him a little money, asking him to help find his father, hoping for a miracle. One night at a bar, Marco places a small bet on a football match, a hopeless gamble. When he loses, his heart sinks. A foreigner approaches him, offering a drink and a deal, rob a jewelry store together, and earn $100,000, enough to save his mother. Marco hesitates but, remembering her frail face, finally agrees. But the robbery is a setup. When Marco arrives, he finds no guards, only thugs waiting for him. Using his boxing skills, he fights bravely but realizes he's been tricked. The foreigner drives off, leaving him behind. As he tries to escape, a car hits him. A Korean woman steps out and rushes him to the hospital. After the checkup, she gives him a red envelope with cash. Just as Marco leaves, Principal Kim calls. His biological father has reached out. For the first time, hope flickers. A few days later, a lawyer named Kong arrives, saying Marco's father is sick and wants to meet him. Without much choice, Marco flies to Korea. Unbeknownst to him, his father is the powerful chairman of the Hoyong Group, and near death. The elder brother, Incheol, is preparing to take over, while hiding scandals of illegal inheritance and secret funds. He despises the idea of an illegitimate half-brother returning. As Marco boards the plane, Childe is also on the same flight, watching quietly. Marco is naive, thrilled by the trip, unaware of the danger ahead. Childe speaks softly to him, hinting that his journey might end in death, but Marco laughs it off. Upon arrival, a young woman named Garcia and a girl in a school uniform, Yunju, the chairman's youngest daughter, keep a close eye on Marco. Lawyer Kong escorts him through the night toward the family villa. Childe follows from a distance. But before Marco can meet his father, their car crashes. When he wakes, Childe is beside him, calm and expressionless. He tells Marco the same chilling words, "This trip is to die." Terrified, Marco runs into the forest. Childe pursues him, elegant even in chaos. Rain falls, thunder roars. but he stops mid-chase because an elegant assassin never gets wet. Meanwhile, the chairman's eldest son, Inchial, grows impatient. He plans to harvest Marco's heart to save their dying father, ensuring the will changes in his favor. Garcia, however, reveals the truth. Both the father and brother plan to kill Marco for his heart. Hearing this, Marco feels shattered. Before he can react, Garcia points a silenced gun at him, saying it's better to die quickly than to be cut open alive. But at the last second, Childe crashes into the scene, saving Marco. He kills Garcia in a swift, graceful move. Soon after, Marco is captured by Inchial's men and taken to the villa. Inchial mocks him, calling it a homecoming. Upstairs, Yunju readies a revolver, intent on ending both her brothers to claim the fortune. As the old chairman lies dying, Inchial prepares for the surgery. Anesthetic flows, but something goes wrong. The anesthetist panics, then slits the surgeon's throat. Underneath the mask, it's Childe. He kills the guards and frees Marco. The plan collapses. The villa turns into chaos. Inchial storms in, enraged. Guns are drawn. Childe holds Marco as leverage, demanding money to let him go. But Yunju fires first, her bullet grazing Childe's leg and killing her father instead. Inchial, furious yet trapped, transfers $10 million to Childe. Marco is released, but Inchial tries to shoot him anyway. Wounded but still elegant, Childe fights back, eliminating the guards one by one. Yunju seizes the moment, turning her gun on her brother, declaring that none of the men in their family deserve to live. Marco slaps her, furious at the madness around him. Childe intervenes, revealing the shocking truth. Marco isn't truly part of their bloodline. It was all a fabrication. Years ago, Principal Kim and Childe plotted to use Marco as bait in a con against the corrupt conglomerate. The DNA results were forged, the robbery and heart transplant plot, all part of Childe's elaborate plan to expose greed and repay the orphanage. But there's one more twist. Childe believed he was dying of terminal cancer, and this was his final act of redemption. However, after everything ends, he visits a doctor again. The doctor laughs and tells him he never had cancer. His symptoms came from quitting smoking, and those cancer pills were just vitamins. Meanwhile, Marco returns to the Philippines. The orphanage is rebuilt, his mother recovers, and his nightmare finally ends. He spends his days in peace, far from violence, while Childe walks into the distance, alive, elegant, and ironically, still untouchable. And movie concludes.